Poland have clinched their first United Cup crown, edging out Switzerland 2-1 in Sunday's final. With Swiatek still searching for top form and Hercax carrying an ankle injury, it was a win that didn't come easily. Iga Swiatek will have to turn her attention to fine-tuning her game for the 2026 Australian Open after two subpar showings over the weekend. The Polish star struggled to impose herself across the tournament. She needed 3 sets to get past Germany's Eva Liss and then suffer consecutive defeats against Coco Gauff and Belinda Bencic. Bencic handed Swiatek a 3-6, 6-0, 6-3 loss in the final on Sunday after Gauff had beaten her comfortably in straight sets during the semifinals. It's not the fact of her Swiatek, losing to Bencic and Gauff playing out of their minds. Catherine Whitaker said on the Tennis Podcast, "It's the pattern of these defeats, I think. And it's a continuation of a pattern that we saw last year. And we were wary about being too alarmist about the defeats that seemed to these matches that seemed to get away from Swiatek and crumble before her and our eyes, because she won Wimbledon last year." Whitaker went on to explain what exactly bothers her most about how Swiatek handles those situations, highlighting a specific part of her game that is also linked to previous poor losses. As we discuss in all of our various review shows, we think she would have signed for last season at the start of it. It was a good season for Iga Swiatek, and yet there was a slightly dark underbelly of defeats that looked like this, where once the match got away from her, once her opponent gets her teeth into the match, she starts malfunctioning and appears to resort to the default of hitting harder and taking more and more risk. The opposite of what we understand that her project is with Wim Fissette, and it's becoming pretty maddening to watch because it's the definition of madness. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different outcome is a proverbial definition of madness. Yet it feels like this is what we're watching in these types of matches. Matt Roberts picked up from there. It is a problem, and you use that word, pattern. Now it feels like when Swiatek goes up against fellow top players, more often than not at the moment, she's not winning those matches. And she always used to have dominant records over fellow top players, but that is something that has really changed in the last year or so. And I think it's because these players are good enough now to push her into stressful situations where she seems caught between playing styles.